Are you heading to check out a wedding venue, guys? You have to ask them these questions. Hi guys, Kylie from Just For Love Photography here. Today I wanted to share with you a little video that's all about wedding venues. Now when you're picking your wedding venue, it's a super big decision because it kind of sets the theme and the feel of what your day's actually going to look like and feel like. So I get that it's totally overwhelming, but it's also super exciting. You get to, visit venues, you get to sip on champagne, meet amazing venue coordinators, but there are some questions that you might forget about, you might forget to ask, that I just really wanted to share with you to help prevent any confusion later on. So let's get started. So venue fees. Now, it might sound like a really obvious question, but venues charge different fees and they all include different things. So it's really important that you ask the venue coordinator what that venue fee actually includes. Does it include table and chairs? Does it include glassware, tableware? There's a whole host of things that it might include that you need to know about. So my biggest piece of advice, get the venue coordinator to email you those things, just so that months down the track when you're organising other details, you can look back at that list and know exactly what is included with your venue hire. So one of the biggest concerns that my brides often have in the lead up to their wedding is, what if it rains? Having a wet weather option is so important for your wedding day, and asking the venue that you're considering whether they have that option is also really important. Sometimes if they don't have an option, there's other things that you can do. You can hire marquees, you can source backup places, but unless you know whether that venue has the option to have a wet weather backup plan, you don't know what you need to organise. So make sure that you make it a point to ask the venue coordinator, what would they do if there's bad weather? What would they recommend? And that way you know where to go from there. So wedding receptions are one huge party. There's good music, everyone's dancing. It is a fantastic time to be had for all. But some venues, especially the ones in the city, do have a time the music has to go down. They have a curfew. So it's really important that you know what the curfew is for the venue that you're considering. One thing to keep in mind is normally city venues have an earlier curfew because there's residential properties around the venue. So perhaps if you have friends that want to party until 2 a.m. in the morning, look for those more hinterland venues, or look for venues that are out of town that might allow you to do that. Or alternatively, have a bar or something that you might go to after the wedding reception. So the next question we have has to do with alcohol. It's really important to ask your venue if you can BYO. Some places let you, and I'm more than happy for you to bring in as much alcohol as you like, which means that you can save some money potentially. But also if you have a favourite wine that you get from a particular vineyard or a preference like that, you can bring that into the wedding reception as well. Other venues aren't quite as flexible. So it's really important, if you have a preference in this, that you check with the venue coordinator before you book. So the average wedding guest list is normally around 80 to 100 people, right? And that means there's a lot of cars transporting your guests to your wedding. So it's really important when you go to have a look at these venues that you're checking out the car space. Where are people going to park? Are there any places to park? I know I shot a wedding in Byron back in October and they actually don't have any car parking on site. So the couple had to organise a double-decker bus to bring guests to the wedding, which may seem crazy, but it's what you had to do to have that venue. So it's really important to check when you're looking at these venues what the practical elements are. Where are your guests going to park their cars? And that way you're fully informed before you make a decision on that venue. So there you have it, guys, some really practical questions that you can take to your venue coordinator and ask to make sure you're fully informed before you make any big decisions. I hope you found them helpful. So please, if you have any tips, any advice, leave them in the comments below. I'd love to hear from you. And also, if you want more tips and advice, if you want to hear more from me, subscribe as well. I'd love to have you along for the journey. Until the next video, guys, I'll talk to you later. Bye.